Hello, welcome to Live Sport here today. Malcolm's live show. I haven't been back. It's been quite a while. I was just going to go through the various. I was going to go through the Bray People news. Actually, I didn't go through it at all this week. I was just going to hang around anyway and just go through it. As I was saying, it's was that was this week's news. It just says thousands of submissions stall bus corridor plan. That was the main news then on that. And what that was, plans for one Wicklow Council called the crazy proposal to permanently close exits on the N11 to facilitate a bus priority corridor have been made with a number of objections as it emerged. Thousands of concerned residents signed petitions and filed submissions. So that's on that. So, and then on the second page, in thousands of objections stall plans for contentions N11 bus corridor. That's the same. That's the same story there. And family events to celebrate nativity. St Patrick's Church Greystones. The live annual crib at Dublin Mansion House is a bit of a track. You can always put the live nativity one night in Bethlehem on the Christmas calendar as the family event returns on St Patrick's Church Greystones on Friday from 5 o'clock to 8. So if anyone is interested in there and going some lights and some entertainment. And Tiglin to host Sleep Out to help homeless. That's another event that's been organised. And Garda trying to find owner of unique dogs. I see. 5 Wicklow Animal Charities share 340k 40k there. And Air Coach would could run hourly to Greystones. That's on that. Councillors sign off on 20 projects. What that says, more funds would be needed as plans needed budget by 60,950. A memorial bench to remember the late Liam O'Reilly from Bray, changing huts and shelters for swimmers on the seafront. And less than one third of GPs able to accept new patients. I'm just going through this, Bray People, this because I didn't plan to do a podcast today. It just came on me. Rates of progression to third level education from schools across County Wicklow revealed. And then plaque honours late community guard. That's another thing there. Family and friends of the late Declan Lynch gathered for a special event to remember the community when a plaque was revealed at Shoreland Leisure Centre. And Sunday in Sensa Garda unveiled. That's another story there. And Bray's most Christmassy house bringing cheer with vibrant decorations. That's a house there that's in Bray. Lovely lights at Brighton Terrace. Lovely decoration. Sinead O'Connor's former home hit by board backlog. A decision on whether to allow for the conversion of the former Victorian house of the late Sinead O'Connor into apartments has been delayed by on board Planana. A decision was due on Mount Bella on Strand Road in Bray in September. So that's another thing. And then Stephen Donnelly, hospital task force will lead drive to save cash. Donnelly sets up efficiency group to stop soaring costs. Health Minister Stephen Donnelly is setting up a crew task force to examine how people call each Irish hospitals in the treatment patient. The aim is to make savings in the health service and ongoing role of its budget for next year. Then former Coast Guard station with sea views goes on the market for just 285,000. That's the main. That's the rent. The houses are for huge sums of money. And then 7 things to do this week. Seeing the Christmas. That was on Rusborough Twilight Magic. That was the tour on Saturday and Sunday up to including December the 23rd, with the welcome of mince pies. That's in Culruddery, Rusborough House. And then Christmas Whistmas from Heaven. That's another thing that's on. And then Elf is coming to Arklow, see number one. I'm not sure when that's on. It's just the exciting thing there, the things to do. And then the next thing there, Irish Rail response over dark delays. That's another story there. And Greystown Council Derek Commission has received correspondence from Irish Rail over communication surrounding the cancellation of services, particularly at the weekend when the dart run over only every hour to the Wicklow town. The new train time, which took effect from Sunday, December the 10th, has been promoted as having more trains. So that's the other thing then that's on that. And then people from Wicklow were last year's biggest Christmas spenders. That's what the stats that's come back. And little shoppers grab €495, I say. And then there's an article then. The next article then is the chef here. What he's doing this week is a layered chocolate mousse cake. It looks lovely. The recipes are on the paper there, page 28. That's this week's layered chocolate mousse cake, which looks delicious. So, and that's the main thing then on that. And then there's an article then. Wicklow chef leads local input in new for a futuristic documentary about food. The Wicklow in UCD, Paul, Jerry and Tybone and Laura and Paul Kane at the premiere of Dublin filmmaker Max Barry's film dinner, Future of Food in Ireland, which was held in UCD Cinema. And that's then. And then there's an advertisement about the Ireland Zone, telling the story of us since 1902. It's full of fact, fiction, and fun. That's the advertisement for that. And that's just my ad there for the Ireland Zone. I don't need to do anything else. The Sky ad. That's the ad. It's coming out. It's full of Christmas stories, cheer, mince pies. Probably Scrooge is in it. Santa's in it. Bad Santy. Ho, 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 ho. What are you doing today, children? Oh, I don't know. Oh, 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 oh. So that's the Santy then. That's on that. And then more than 600 dogs abandoned this year. One rescue had a busy year and issues Christmas play, which is always on the radio. Confusion as Glendalough Master Plan invites arrives. Uh, so that's another story then. And then I'm just going straight to the pet thing. Pete Wedderburn, the best Christmas gifts for pets and owners. He just writes an article then about the gifts, and a kind reader sent Pete an oil painting of the dog Kiko, and that was another gift there that came in. Playing with cats is good for them. It relieves stress and good for you too. It's fun to play with cats. You're forced to live in the moment, forgetting about other aspects of life. For both dogs and cats and all pets, including rabbits, guinea pigs, reptiles, and fish, there's a gift idea that has become increasingly popular and incredible. Pet cams. Most homes now have internet Wi-Fi, and it's become simple to connect up a small camera to your network. So that's one of the gifts that it's saying. And then the top films to watch this weekend. This Monday film Guys and Dolls. That's on Monday. And the Shawshank Redemption 1994. That's on Tuesday at 10:40. So if you want to check that out. And then this week in 1998, Believe with Cher. That was a hit. And then Goodbye. Cher had 6 week run at number one 25 years ago. So that's another fact there that's in the book. And then how tidy town volunteers are changing the face of Arklow. There's an article then about Arklow Tidy Town's volunteer Sandra Duffy spoke to a reporter about how the town is transforming for the better. I remember when Arklow was portrayed as a black spot. Only in later years has the town found its need has improved immensely. So that's an article then, and David Malcap is wrote that article, and he always writes a good article then. And then Flux Bar reopens Kilmaconic. It's on the 15th. That's it's so it's opening, and thank you. And then it shows you a picture of Adam Merchant with Josh Van der Fleer at the signing of Josh the Flyer in Bridge Street, Wicklow Town. And that's a good. That's another book that's out. I must go through some of the books there in my next podcast. New Mini with sporting Giants, the new Mini Cooper Electric and Sport Trim, and that's the car that's coming out. He gives it a good review there on that paper, and I just go straight to Arklow Town. I see Devereux hits hat trick. Arklow Town 4, Avonmore Football Club 2. So that's the results then on that. And then Super Celebrations, AGM looking forward to a very bright football future. And that's another article there about AGM. And I'm just going straight quick through this. And O'Connor and O'Dowd secure senior titles. That's in running. Catherine O'Connor triumphed at the County Senior Cross Country Championship last Sunday at Avondale Forest Park, which is running. And then the ladies, Carnew strike late. Wicklow Minor, this is Camogie. Carnew Emmets 3-5, Bray Emmets 3-1. So that was a good score, and that's another result. And then the life for O'Dwyer's Wicklow Under 19 B football final. Michael Dwyer's 114, Anna Curra 110. So that's another score. And then that's the Bray. I was at that match myself. Thomastown 222, Bray Emmets 1-9. So Bray were well beaten in that, but I don't think they should be playing Kilkenny. That's a very hard tie to win on any day. And the scorers then, Bray Emmets scorers then were Christy Morehouse 9, 5 frees, and Brian Nesbitt 1 goal. So and then Thomastown scorers were Luke Conley 1 goal, John Joe Farrell a point, John Donnelly 2 points, Jackie Holden a point, and Thomas O'Hanlon 1-1. So it was a very good team, and they'll be in the semi final. The semi final yet? They'll be in the semi final. And then tricky campaigns for Wicklow teams. It just gives you the fixtures. The Wicklow footballers face a tough opener in the NFL campaign when they take on Down, and then the Hurlers on January Casey will face a rematch with a team they toppled in the Nicky Rackett Cup final early with Donegal. So the fixture matches are there. The first match that Wicklow footballers are playing is Wexford and Wicklow at Chadwick's Wexford Park O'Byrne Cup. That's the first match, January the 2nd. And then January the 5th, Wicklow Wexford versus Carlow. That's another tie O'Byrne Cup quarter final if they get through that. And then Kyo Cup, Wicklow versus Kildare. That's the first match. And so they're the matches. And then the first match in the National Football League is Wicklow versus Down. That's January the 23rd at 2 o'clock. So that's an exciting. They have a tough campaign there with teams they're playing. And then surely the best we've ever done. Fantastic fourth of the Flying Fionnuala at the Spa European Cross Country Championship in Belgium, and that's then on that. And then Jackson to showcase talent in NFL Combine. That's a big loss for Wicklow footballers. The Mac Jackson, the goalkeeper, and he'd be in. It just said Oisin McConville was talking about it there. So under 20 players probably. I'm not sure. So that's my podcast there. Now I'll see if I've got any other news to go through before I finish there with the RTE. The RTE news here. The latest there. Israel strike Gaza as pressure grows to free hostages, and that's then on that. No justification. Varadkar condemns Galway hotel fire. Taoiseach Leah Varadkar has said there was no justification for violence after a suspected arson attack at a Galway hotel set to host asylum seekers from next week. An Irish woman whose forecast changed D-Day dies aged 90. That was what that story then was about. It was Maureen Sweeney, whose weather forecast changed the timing of the delayed landings during World War II, has died. Miss Sweeney, who was 21, forecast an impending storm from Blackstad Lighthouse in 1944. The remote lighthouse and Coast Guard station played a key role in during World War II. 1 p.m. on 21-year-old Sullivan was forced to forecast a severe Atlantic storm, which led to a change of play. So that's the story then on that. And the sports then knows the Roundtree left frustrated by Munster collapse. Munster side lost 22-24, and that was that score then. And Keane ached by Van Dijk's post-match arrogance. Wilson sees off Sen come to retain Scottish Open title. That's in snooker. And then Tiger reveals a special PNG Championship experiment. I was just going to go through the soccer results, the main soccer results, to which Liverpool Premier League, Liverpool nil, Man United nil, and that was the recap of that match. And the fixtures then, the English Premiership matches which were played earlier on, the results. I'll go through the results. As I was saying there, it was Liverpool nil, Man United nil, and that's what's played earlier today. Arsenal 2, Brighton Hove Albion nil, and West Ham United 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers nil, and Brentford 1 and Aston Villa 2, and that was the main results then. Saturday's results: Burnley nil, Everton 2, and Chelsea 2, Sheffield United nil, and Manchester City 2, Crystal Palace 2. So Manchester City have dropped by. Newcastle United 3, and Fulham nil. So, and if you were to the fixtures then coming up, Thursday 21st December, Crystal Palace versus Brighton and Hove Albion, and Aston Villa and Sheffield United. And then on the Saturday, West Ham United versus Man United at 12:30. Fulham and Burnley, that's as well. Luton Town and Newcastle United, that's another fixture. Nottingham Forest and AFC Bournemouth, and Tottenham Hotspurs versus Everton, that's on the 23rd. All these matches are on the 23rd. Liverpool and Arsenal, that's another top match, which is on the 23rd. And then on the 24th, Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Chelsea. And then on the 26th of December, Newcastle United versus Nottingham Forest, AFC Bournemouth versus Fulham, and Sheffield United versus Luton Town. Burnley versus Liverpool, that's on as well, and Man United and Aston Villa. So they're the matches there that are coming up. And then the table makes clear reading. It's Arsenal with 39 points, Liverpool 38, Aston Villa 38, Manchester City 34, Tottenham Hotspurs 33, and Newcastle United 29. They're on 6th, and Man United are down to 7 with 28. So they're the score. That's the league table there. And on the entertainment news, it just says Ellie Lee becomes youngest celebrity to win Strictly, and that was on yesterday. Dancing with the Stars reveals pairing for new series. That's just the pairings which they're going to go in. Rosanna Davidson versus Stephen Vincent. There's different dancing parties. Eileen Dunn and Robert Ronsky, and Salam Chut and David Whelan, and that's then the Simon Area and Blue Hydraka, and Miriam Mullins and Monty Houston, and they're the different Laura Fox and Danny Sampson, and Shane Quigley and Laura Nolan, and Kylie Vincent and David Russell, and they're just some of the partners that's dancing then. And then on the Irish Independent News, which this will finish, I didn't go near Sky News. It just says more about the hotel, the hotel which was damaged there. More about which just says T-shirt kits out as suspected arson at disused Galway hotel and airbagged for asylums, and that's the scene had been preserved, and technical examinations will take place later today. Garda are appealing for anyone who has been information regarding the incident, and that's then on. It's quite a bit about it. The Irish News then on the Irish Independent. It just says ambulance patient faced 3 hours wait at UHA as hospital running out of trolleys. And then Revenue slaps 180,000 judgment on suspected Keenan's bagman form. Uh, Garda College pay tribute to young recruit shot dead by RA Don Tidy kidnap and rescue, and that's the main news. Then on that, the entertainment news on the Irish Independent, it just says uh, the stained glass pioneer who was born in a tenement. There's an article there about Michael Healy. He grew up in a penury, eviction, and workhouse. When Michael Healy died in 1920, he was hailed as a pioneer artist of the modern Irish stained glass movement by art historian Thomas McGree. He was the first recruit to the new studio on Tua Glár, set up by portrait painter Sarah Pushney, and was possibly the key artist remaining there for almost 4 decades. However, pioneer is the interesting word in the McCreevy quote, including when a new book, Michael Healy, Stained Glass Pioneer by David Gannett. Like so many pioneers, Healy was nearly as well known as his talent preserved. It just says a write up there about the stained glass pioneer who improved everyone's. So I'm seeing now then how I'm doing. I'm well into the podcast. I was just going to now go through the latest in Sky News just to finish it off. I'm sure Mr. Trump will be on the main news there somewhere. The US, the English news. It just says I went through the Bray people now. It just says hostage killed by IDF use food to create SOS sign. Israel and Hamas open up to another temporary ceasefire. That's the latest. And Baroness Moan admits she stands to benefit from PPE contract. And Demi Lovetta to marry the love of their life, and that Lutonstown Tom, and that's the main. The world news then. I was just going to go to the world news, which is 61 people found dead in shipwreck off Libra coast, and five breaks out at hotel days before asylum seekers. That's the same about the hotel in Galway, and former top Vatican official jailed in financial corruption scandal. I saw that on the news yesterday. He was mixed up with corruption and at the highest level. Surprisingly, there isn't anything about Mr. Trump unless it's uh, uh, they're ignoring him there. And then, analysts, I have a small part in the crown, and even I found the aftermath of losing Diana harrowing to watch. Adam Bolton writes an article there. And the British posh boy who became one of the year's breakout TikTok stars. That's an article then about Henry Rowland went viral over humorous impression of posh culture. Henry Rowland couldn't be more honest about enjoying the recognition that comes with going viral. I really do love it, he says, partly because I'm vain. So that's then that's all the news then on that. I thought I'd go through the Sky News now. Nothing about Mr. Trump surprisingly. And I hope you enjoyed my podcast today. I'll be back with another one, and I haven't done one for a while, more than a week, I'd say. And thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy my podcast today. And goodbye.